everybody, welcome to Pilates and my name is Kim Wood, and today's session is all about mobility. So we're going to be using mobilising exercises to improve the range and the freedom of all of the major joints, including your spine, your shoulders and around your hips. So we'll start in supine, so if you want to lie down onto the back of your body. And we'll have the knees bent and the feet flat onto the mat. So just take your time to place your feet about hip distance apart. Find your neutral alignment for your pelvis. So you might want to do a couple of pelvic tilts. Just allowing the pelvis to tilt one way, anterior and then posterior a few times. So you can gradually increase that range of motion. So you're really starting to move through the lumbar spine here. And then gradually bringing the pelvis into neutral. So we're aiming to get the hip bones and the pubic bone horizontal to the floor. Bringing the arms down now to the sides of us, palms pressing gently into the floor. Start to think about the length at the back of the neck. Do a gentle chin tuck and then draw the shoulder blades downwards. And then focus on your breath as you breathe in through your nose, and the out breath coming out through the mouth as if you're blowing into a straw. So breath coming in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. I'm going to place the hands onto the rib cage now, so the fingers are facing to the centre. And you might just wrap your thumbs around the sides of the rib cage, relax your shoulders and elbows into the mat, and keep breathing. And on the inhale, let's see if we can find that lateral breath. So we're letting the ribs push out into the palms of the hands and into the thumbs and the fingers. And as you exhale, you should be feeling the hands fall back in again. So nice lateral breath coming in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then relax your arms to your sides, and let's focus on our core now. So finding our abdominals, take an in breath, and as you breathe out, draw the belly button in, imagining that belt tightening to 3 notches. And then on the next out breath, lifting into pelvic floor as well. So let's start with an exercise called imprint. So what we're going to do is gently push down through our lumbar spine, and that little hollow that you've got in the lower back area, you're just going to gently push it into the mat and then release it back into neutral. So it's an in breath to prepare and an out breath, imprinting. So you're just feeling that connection through your obliques. So you should feel when you do this exercise that your hips are being pulled gently up towards the lower ribs. And it's quite a soft pull up. You're not sort of ramming the lower back into the floor. It should feel very smooth as we start to bring awareness to different muscles that we're using now. And let's do this about 2 more times. Imprint on the exhale. Inhale, release. And then we'll do that 1 more time. Exhale to imprint. Inhale, release. Now I'm going to do some hip rolls. So take an in breath, prepare, and as you exhale, imprint again. And this time I'm going to keep rolling the lower part of your spine away from the floor, starting to push the hips up towards the ceiling now. And we'll just come up 1/4 of the way. Take a hold there, take an in breath, and then as you exhale, rolling back down, feeling the vertebrae of your spine touch down 1 at a time. Inhale at the bottom and exhale, peel the lower part of your spine away, your sacrum into lumbar, and let's come up a little bit higher. Let's come 3/4 of the way up. Pause on the in breath and releasing down the out breath. So we'll keep moving through this now, and we'll gradually start to lift the hips a little bit higher, and we are mobilising with this today, so I really want you to feel how the vertebrae are connecting and moving as well, individually at the same time, like that bicycle chain, all the links connected, you're able to move individually. Let's keep moving with this nice roll, using that lateral breath, and then exhale as you roll back up. Not coming up too far, we're not putting pressure here on the upper spine. Rolling slowly down, you want to try and keep that weight even down both sides of your spine as much as possible. Let's do one more. Push into the feet, push into the big toes and your heels and your toes. And then rolling slowly back down again. Lovely. So we're just going to keep the feet where they are and the hands where they are. We're lowering the knees to one side, so take a breath in. And as you exhale, just let the knees fall to one side. Not holding on to any tension here. As you inhale, bring the knees back to the centre, and then both knees fall to the back as you exhale. It's quite a relaxed twist that we're working on here. Just letting the hips open up a little bit as well, back and forth. It should feel nice on your lower back. We're just keeping that distance between the feet and the knees, so we've got more space to work with on this exercise. Do that one more time to each side. Inhale to centre. Exhale to the back. We're just mobilising and warming up with the mobilities to start with. Okay, bring your knees back to centre, and then we're going to go into bend and stretch. So we're going to point the toes and straighten the leg up to the ceiling. And we're going to flex the foot and lower the leg so it's hovering just off the floor. Take an inhale, exhale, point the leg up to the ceiling, flex, inhale to lower just off the floor. And we'll keep going, we'll speed up just a little bit now. So I want you to think about how your hips are staying balanced on both sides of the body. How you're starting to get that movement through your ankle and your hip. And you're starting to stretch out into the back of the leg. All the time, abdominals are engaging. Let's do two more. And one more. And bend the knee, place your foot to floor. Let's change legs. Take an inhale, exhale, pointing the leg up, flex the foot and draw it back down again. Pointing it up. Pressing the heel away. So it's really nice as well to release into your calf muscles, finding that stability in your pelvis, using the other leg to push into. Don't let your other knee just drop out to the side. Keep using muscles on the inside of that thigh. Let's do two more again. Nice way to get the body moving. And bend the knee, place the foot down. So a little bit more work to release the hips before we carry on. So we're going to bring the knee across the centre line of the body, slide the foot along the mat, roll the knee out to the side and circle it back in. Let's continue circling that knee again. So we're going to inhale as the knee comes across and exhale as it comes out wide. So it's a nice hip circle. Let's do one more in this direction, and then let's change direction. The knee goes out and the foot slides along, and we turn the knee inwards. So I always say it's like you're painting a circle with your kneecap with this exercise, not necessarily with your foot, because your foot is traced in a straight line on the mat. Your foot shouldn't come off your mat. And then one more. Good, and then we'll change legs here. So knee comes across, foot slides away, knee comes out wide and back in, and then we keep repeating it in that direction. Checking the hip bones aren't tilting to one side, and checking that our other leg is still working and staying fixed. One more in this direction, and we'll change direction now. Breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Try and relax into your shoulders and your chest, but keep that energy coming into your belly. Should feel lovely. One more. Fabulous. Okay, so keeping the feet hip distance apart, we're going to do arm circles. Reach the arms overhead as you inhale, and exhale, circle widen in. Breathing in, breathing out. Now see if you can pull the rib cage down to stop it popping up away from the mat. That's as if you've got that taut elastic band now, connecting the bottom ribs to your hips. And now we're going to circle the arms overhead, take the arms wide, and as you take them wide, tuck your chin in, look towards your knees, lift the back of your head and shoulders, and curl up for your abdominal prep. Then we're going to lie back down, taking the arms overhead as we inhale, head is relaxed on the floor, and then exhale, circle wide, tuck the chin, and curl up. So we're warming up the abdominals, breath in, reaching overhead, keeping the rib cage down, tucking in the chin, lengthen the neck, and exhale and pull yourself up. Keep your tailbone on the floor as you're flexing up there. So now we're starting to move through that upper part of the spine as well. Scooping the arms up. Lay yourself back down. Using the control now that we've got in our core muscles. That's it. See if you can do about 3 more. And scoop it up. And then rest yourself down. Put your arms down to your sides. Let's go into some knee raises. Take an in breath. As you exhale, floating one leg to tabletop. Inhale, float it back down. And we'll swap side. Exhale to float the knee up. Nice tabletop position. And float it down. So awareness has come back down to the pelvis again. We're just checking that we're able to control this movement. And we're using a little bit of gravity now to work against. Let's do one more. And then we're going to add on to this our ab prep with our arm circle. So reach your arms overhead, take an inhale. Exhale, curl up and bring your knee up to table at the same time. Inhale, foot comes down as your arms reach overhead, and alternating, lifting with the knee and curling up. So we're starting to combine some movements now. Now that we've got the body warmed up a little bit, and the brain working a little bit as well. And really pulling up, keep that leg away from your body though, don't let the knee come too far into the chest on this one. So see if we can do about 4 more. Two more. Try and imagine you've got a marble sat in your belly button and you're trying to keep it there without letting it roll away. One more. Circle arms all the way overhead and bring them back down to the side. Okay, so let's go on to our first main exercise. So we're going to go on to our one leg circle. Take one leg up to tabletop. And let's start with our modified version with the bottom knee bent. You're circling this top leg around now. In breath as it comes across centre line, and out breath as it circles round and back in. And then we're going to change direction on this next one. taking the leg wide, circling it back in. So we've done some nice preparation exercises for this, so the hips should be starting to move a little bit more freely now. And this is a great exercise to strengthen the hip flexors. Okay, hold it there. Let's see if we can maybe improve the flexibility of the hips. So straightening out the bottom leg as well, extending and pointing that top leg up and circling the leg in the opposite direction. Now checking that opposite hip bone is glued down, it's anchored into the floor. Really stretch it wider if you can, really increase that range. And then change direction. See if you can again relax. If you find you're starting to tense up a little bit in the shoulders and the neck, just draw the shoulders down again. Relax the back of your head, tuck your chin in slightly and carry on. Let's do one more circle. Point those toes. Excellent. Place that foot flat on the floor, and then we'll take the other leg to a vertical position. Point the toes, and the leg comes across centre and wide and comes back in. In breath and out breath. I'm noticing any differences between this hip and your other hip. Then we're going to change direction again as we're getting that hip moving a little bit wider now. Remember, it's all about freeing up the joints today. Now let's see if we can move that bottom foot away from us, extending the bottom leg, get that hip to open wider, change direction on the top leg and circle. And see if you can imagine painting the circle with your big toe now. And changing direction this time. This is our last circle. And place that foot to the floor. Let's bend both knees. We're going to go into the 100. Bring the arms down to the sides of the body. So if you need to imprint slightly, we're going to be taking both legs into tabletop. If you're okay, keep that natural curve and neutral spine that you've got. Lengthen the back of your neck, take an inhale. Exhale, flex away from the floor, bring your arms up to the horizontal, and let's start inhaling for 5 pulses, press in the air with the arms. And then exhale for 5 pulses. So we're stabilising through the shoulders as we're bouncing and pulsing those arms. Try and keep the lower body still as well. And we're looking towards the knees here, just to keep the length from the back of the neck. Now if you can, let's see if we can extend the legs, draw them together. And then see if you can lower the legs a few more inches, but keep lifting those shoulders, pulling the ribs down towards the hips. And let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. And then bend the knees. Relax your head down and place your feet down to the floor here. Okay, so let's move on to the roll over prep to start with, and then we might advance it to the rollover. Just considering that if you've got neck or shoulder issues, you wouldn't want to take your legs all the way over the top of your head today, okay? So you could stick with the prep which we're about to do. So let's come back to tabletop. I'm going to start by extending the legs on the inhale and And as you exhale, a little press into your hands and bend your knees and bring your tailbone off the floor. So it's an inhale to extend the legs and an exhale to peel your lower back away. And we are pressing into the backs of the arms. That's going to work the triceps. But you're working on your lower abdominals as well. So it's a really nice strong workout for the core, this one. Let's do 2 more. Okay, and then you might have a little rest, and then we might go on to the full rollover now. So the legs are extended away from us, close together. So we're going to inhale, bring the legs up. Exhale to horizontal with the legs. Inhale, open the legs to about shoulder width. And then exhale and roll the spine back down to the floor. And then we're going to close the legs as we inhale. Bring them up and over. Lift up horizontal and open. And exhale and roll down. So we're being in control of it. As we're rolling down, try and get the vertebrae to come down one at a time and not just a sudden thud. So let's go again. Closing legs. Making sure we're not pressing on the upper part of the neck there. We're not feeling restricted. And then what we'll do is we'll change the direction. So keep the legs open. As they're open, bring them over. Close them at the horizontal. And then roll down as you exhale with the legs closed. And we'll do that again. Open the legs to shoulder width. Close the legs and roll down with them closed. Let's see if we can do 1 more. And then bring your knees into your chest and give them a little squeeze there. Nice. Okay, moving straight into scissors. So legs go vertical. And we're going to roll the shoulders back and down. Just start with the prep. So we're going to take a breath in. We're going to exhale, lower the leg halfway. Exhale, lower it a little bit further so it's hovering off the floor. Inhale and draw it back up. Then try the other leg so it's a double pulse. Pulse, pulse, inhale, lift. Stretching the bottom leg away from you now. And then if you're advancing, you're going to lift the back of the head and shoulders, lightly hold on to the legs, and then continue with your scissors. So try not to get into the habit of pulling the top leg too close to you, rather than stretching the bottom leg away, which is going to challenge you more. See if you can get those shoulder blades up off the floor. That's really working abdominals here. And your hip flexors. 2 more. Point those toes up to the ceiling. And then relax your head and shoulders down and let your knees come in. Now we are going to do a second set of scissors. But if you want to try the advanced scissors, we're now going to lift the legs up to vertical and we're going to grasp the lower back with our hands. So legs to the diagonal, bring the legs over the body, point your feet up to the ceiling, catch your lower back with your hands and then just tuck your elbows in. And just check you're not restricting the neck again. So scissor in the leg towards you this time, so it's a breath in and one of the top legs comes down, 1, 2, and inhale, lift it back up. collapse into your spine. So try and lift your tailbone up as high as you can to keep the spine in neutral. What you don't want to do is let the lower back just flex. So you're really strong through the muscles around your lumbar spine. In fact, the whole length of your spine, rectus spinae. We'll do 2 more there. And then let's take the hands away and see if you can come down from a more vertical position. You should be a little bit out of puff with that one. Okay, so let's go into the roll up now. So let's try and take our legs straight this time on the mat, and your legs should be roughly about hip distance apart. I always just give my hips a wiggle around here just to get my flesh out of the way so I can keep and maintain neutral. And then we're going to take the arms above the head, and if you just draw your shoulders back under again so that you're not popping the ribs up and out, so you're pulling the ribs down. We'll start with our prep. So we're going to inhale as the arms come over, and then we exhale, little chin tuck, lifting the back of the head and shoulders. We're just going to hold it there, move the arms back to the ears as we inhale, and then exhale as we come back down. So just a nice easy prep, arms come over on the in-breath, out-breath, just the upper spine flexing, arms to ears as we inhale, and then exhale, roll down. Do 1 more prep. So you can keep flexing those feet as well, so you're really stretching into the backs of your legs. Now we're going to see if we can come up all the way. So we're going to try and peel the rest of the spine off this time. And as we're coming up, we're flexing, we're staying flexed, and we're reaching over. That lovely stretch there. Now we're going to stay flexed as we inhale and start to move back. You're going to tuck the tailbone under, relax the shoulders down, and then roll back down as evenly as you can down both sides of your spine. Breathing in, arms floating over, breathing out, peeling that spine away, 1 vertebrae at a time. And the slower you go with this exercise, the more challenge it is. You could have a towel here, guys, if you want to put your towel around your lumbar spine if you need it today, just to give you that extra feedback. But it is a really lovely exercise, this. Even though you know you're working the core muscles and you're developing strength there, you can feel this nice stretch that you're getting, and that movement that you're getting into your spine and your hips. But what happens is you always seem to move to the end of your mat on this particular exercise and maybe lose your pants a little bit as well. But no one's going to see you today, so don't worry. Nearly there. So I'm going to make this our last one, and then when we come up, we're going to stay seated and flex all the way over the legs, and then sit up tall. Okay, so we're going to prep for boomerang, which does mobilise a lot through the spine. So we're going to have our legs crossed, finding our sit bones and make sure they're rooting to the mat, sitting up really tall. So draw up into the core, hands resting at the side. So we're going to take an inhale, exhale, reach the arms up to vertical. As you inhale, take your arms wide and lift that chest, you get some extension. So lift your eye gaze slightly, and then as you exhale, fold forwards, turn the palms to the back and bring the backs of the hands towards one another. Sit up and slide your hands along the floor, take an in-breath. Exhale, reach arms up. Inhale, take the arms wide, open the chest, you're going into extension here as well. And then exhale. One more breath in and sit up, shoulders down. Exhale, reach vertical. Inhale wide at that extension if it feels good, and fold. And then reset your position. So we'll repeat that with the legs crossed the other way as well. Okay, so find those sit bones again. Find that lovely posture. Breath in and breath out. Reach up. In breath, open. Exhale, draw the navel in, backs of hands touch if you can. Remember, mobilising. And sit up again and reach up. Stretch wide, or squeeze the shoulder blades together and fold. And we'll do one more. So you could repeat the prep again. Do maybe 3 on each side, having your legs crossed that way and then the other way. Or we're going to go into full boomerang. So we are going to roll onto the back of the body. If you've got any damaged parts to your spine or osteoporosis, then I don't recommend that you do this rolling motion onto your spine. So fingers light at the side, take an inhale. Now draw the core muscles in, you're going to swing your legs over to horizontal, over the head. Inhale to cross the ankles the other way. Exhale, we're going to roll back up to sit balance on our sit bones and reach the arms forwards. Inhale, take the arms wide, and then exhale, let the legs fall, lean forwards, backs of hands touch, sit up, inhale, hands to floor, exhale, roll the legs over the head, inhale, cross the ankles, exhale, see if you can come up to balance and sit bones, reach to your feet, hold the balance, take your arms wide, and then fold forward, reset again, breath in. Breath out, legs go over. Inhale to cross. Exhale to come to balance. That was a dodgy one. Inhale, arms wide. Exhale, drop. We'll do one more. Breath in. Over we go. Cross the other way. Roll through your spine to balance up on sit bones. Just take that stretch out. And pull the belly in to fold forward and sit up. Good, okay. Advanced Pilates today in some places, well done. Okay, so we're going to go into the saw. So in a seated position, let's take the legs out to roughly about the width of our shoulders. We'll have the feet flexed, but some of you might be better off sitting on a towel, or you might prefer to have your knees bent, or even going into cross-legged today. Okay, so let's go for saw. Find that height. Let's take the arms nice and wide. I'm going to hit the wall if I stay there. Palms facing forwards, and we're going to inhale as we rotate to one side, and we're going to exhale. Turn the back hand away, and then reach your front hand towards your little toe. Anchor down into that hip on the opposite side, and then restack, inhale, and exhale, turn to fall, face forwards. So to other side, breath in, breath out, flex, reach across if you can. In breath and sit up. Exhale to centre. So as you're reaching across, you're getting that deep stretch through your lumbar spine, through your hamstrings. Wonderful mobility exercise as we're getting that rotation and that flexion as well. And we're feeling our upper back muscles engage. And if you can't reach for your toe, just reach for your knee, that's okay. Or your ankle instead. Let's do one more. Lovely. Okay, we're going into mermaid. So you're going to fold your knees just to the right hand side. So you've got roughly 90 sort of degree angles at both of your knees. Rest your right hand onto the floor. Okay, so connecting to the abdominals, widen into your chest. So we're going to sweep the left arm up and over. And then just when you can, I want you to bend into your supporting elbow, so you're lowering a little bit more to stretch. And then you're going to roll your top shoulder forwards and down, so you're rotating. Now roll it back again. And then push yourself back up. Lift the right arm. And then stretch over to the other side. Let's take some breath now. Take an inhale, sweep the left arm up, hand goes to the floor, bend the supporting elbow, and then exhale, fold in. In breath and come back up and over, and exhale to the side. And again, flow breath in, and breath out, fold. So you're doing that internal rotation there. And this lateral flexion here. Let's do that 2 more times to each side because it feels so good. And we're really getting a nice stretch in our obliques and in our quadratus lumborum, which is connected to your lumbar spine. And it gets quite tight in a lot of people. Last one. And then we're going to stay on this side. So I want you to do now is just lie down onto this side and straighten out your top leg. Keep your bottom knee bent. We're going into side lying leg kick first of all. So bottom elbow can bend for some support for your head. Okay, so you want to find your neutral. You want to stack your hip bones, lift your waistline off the floor, and we're going to lift the top leg to about the same height as your hip and flex the foot. Okay, so when you're ready, you're going to kick forward 1, kick forward 2, point to the toes, and sweep the leg back. So we're going to inhale, inhale forwards, and exhale, take it back. So we're going to be working on the muscles around the hip and the calf and the core. But great for mobility around the ankle and hip. Now see if you can straighten out your bottom leg as well. Let's try and challenge our stability a little bit here. So you're flexing into both feet and your top hand can hold the floor for a bit of support as you kick forward 1, 2 and draw it back. And if it's getting too unstable, then just return to having your bottom knee bent. And maybe you can take your hand off the floor and see how that feels. Let's do one more. So we're going to bring the leg back to its horizontal position. This time we're going to point both the toes, both the feet, and we're going to put the hand back on the floor. So top leg lifted to horizontal, and then we're doing a leg circle now, sideline leg circle with the top leg. Breath in and breath out. Now keep remembering our waistline here is scooped away from the floor. You might take your hand off the floor as well now. See how that feels. A little bit wobbly and change direction. Keep that chest nice and wide. So roll that top shoulder back. You can feel these abductors, there's muscles at the side of the hip now. Your glutes medius and your glutes maximus. And then relax that top leg down. Hand support, bend your knee. So let's go to the other side. Swing your legs across. So we're doing our mermaid first of all. So let's have our knees in that folded position to the left and support with your left hand on the floor. Okay, so roll the shoulders, take them nice and wide. Taking our right arm up and over. C shape in the spine, bending through the elbow that's supporting on the floor, and then roll the top shoulder in and stretch down. Roll the top shoulder back and lift yourself back up. Swap arms, breath in and breath out. Stretch the opposite way. And inhale. And exhale. Roll down and under. And roll out and up. And change sides. Keep it moving with your breath. Let's do 2 more. Love this stretch. Okay, so lying down onto the side and get ready for our side lying leg kick, so bottom knee bent. Okay, so get a nice straight line through your body. Pelvis is stacked nicely, top leg is horizontal, flex through the foot, a bit of support with the top hand. And get them neutral again and kick forward. 1, 2, and point and bring the leg back. Inhale, inhale, and exhale. I'm starting to feel the work coming into the hip again. You might take your hand off the floor. And you might try and straighten out the bottom leg, flex into both feet. You might put the hand back on the floor now to start with and come back to your kicks. Or really challenge now, imbalance, putting the top hand onto your hip. Can you feel those muscles around your hip working now? Let's do 2 more. Bring the leg horizontal, pointing both the feet, and we're going into sideline leg circles. So put your hand back on the mat for now, lift your leg to horizontal, and then start to circle that top leg. So paint that circle, then maybe take your hand off the floor now. Feel the abdominals nicely pulled in, really connecting. Change direction with your circle now. That's it. Let's do 3 more circles. And relax there. Good. Okay, push yourself up. Turn yourself over to an all-fours position. So we're going into pointer. So let's just take the knees out under the hips. Let's position the wrists under the shoulders. Okay, then now we're pushing through the hands to feel the chest muscles active. Draw up into the belly button and lengthen through the neck. So let's take opposite arm and leg. Take an inhale and then exhale. Opposite arm and leg into pointer. And inhale, return. And then pointing, opposite arm and leg. So keep noting what's going on around the hip area. So can you keep it nice and still there? Can you keep your tailbone pointing towards the back? Can the crown of your head keep pointing forwards? The shoulders shouldn't be dropping down to one side. Yeah, that lower back and lumbar spine should be neutral. You should be dipping in there. So it's a nice, gentle exercise, but it does have lots of benefits to it though. Okay, let's do 2 more. And 1 more. And then from here, keeping the knees in that position, we're going into tricep push-up. So modified version, keep the spine neutral and lower your elbows to the floor. Try not to stick your chin out and press through your hands to straighten your arms. So try not to let your bum come down to your heels. Keep your bum off your heels, lower your elbows and press. So point your elbows back. Inhale as you lower and exhale as you press. Going into the next version, so this time you're going to lower your chest between your hands, go halfway and press back up. And again, so we're lowering halfway. Maybe go a little bit further to full range, so you're hovering, and press back up again. Breathing in as you're lowering. Remember lengthening the neck, we're not sticking the chin out. Exhale and press. Let's do 2 more, and then we'll put a little combination together. So we're going to do 1 tricep push-up. And then 1 pointer. Inhale to lengthen this time. Exhale to return. And we'll do another tricep push-up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Pointer with the other arm and leg. Inhale. And exhale. And again, so we do a tricep push-up. And a pointer. So it's making us really think about our coordination. Making us understand our bodies and how we need to stabilise certain areas of the body when movements occurring elsewhere. Let's do that 2 more times, that little combination. One more time. Brilliant. So let's come down onto the fronts of our body into a prone position. We'll do a prep for breaststroke and then we'll go into breaststroke. So legs are about hip distance, palms out to the sides facing down, and the hands are roughly in line with the shoulders or just a little bit further forwards. You might have a towel under your forehead. Just get the shoulders to pull back and then press into the tops of your feet gently, squeeze into your bottom and pull the abs in. So take an inhale to prepare, roll the shoulders back a little more and then exhale, so we're extending that upper spine away from the floor, keeping the length at the back of the neck, and then inhale to hold and then exhale to lower. So breath in to prepare, breath out as we extend away, checking that we're not hinging back with the neck, hold on the in-breath, and down on the out-breath. Let's do 2 more preps, pushing the pubic bone into the floor, keeping the hips connected, we're not pushing into the hands. And then 1 more prep. Let's really engage those back muscles here. So if you want to move on to the full version of breaststroke, we're going to have a go now. So we're going to inhale to lift this time. Exhale, shoot your arms overhead, so nice and long. As you inhale, circle the arms wide, lift your chest a little higher, and then shoot your hands past your ears, hover off the floor, exhale, inhale to lift again. Let's see if we can do about 6 more. So as you come down to hover, don't let your head touch the floor, and then lift the chest back out again. As if you're lifting out of that water. Should do 1 more for good luck. And then bring your hands to the side. Okay, just put your hands under your forehead now, relax the back of your neck. And we're going to finish with swan dive. So we're going to get some nice extension into the spine. So let's take your legs wide. So your feet are out to the corners of your mat. You're turning out with your legs, with your thighs and your toes. So you're in lateral rotation. You're going to bring your hands just by your shoulders. Soften into the back of your neck again. Push your pubic bone into the floor. And this time pressing into the palms. Elbows tucked in as you're lifting the head, the chest, and coming up. And then slowly coming back down again. So the aim is to eventually lift the hip bones off the floor. So we're going to inhale as you come up, looking straight ahead, and then exhale as we return. And we can maybe slide the hands further back if we've got that range around the lower part of the spine. Just keeping the pubic bone down low. I'm going to have a slow rock here, so we're going to come up into our extended spine. I'm going to maintain this bow shape that we've got with by pointing our toes and straightening our legs, squeezing our glutes, and then we're going to rock slowly, keeping the hands there. Just do one more little rock, and then rest it down. Okay, we might go into rock and catch, so we're going to take the hands away from the floor on the next one. So we breathe into lift, exhale, reach forwards and upwards. Hands back to the mat to hold. And then again, so scoop your hands up and catch. And then catch yourself on the mat. Let's do two more. And then release down again. Okay, let's have a go at the full version. So this time we're going to try and keep the hands off the floor. We'll do about, say 4 or 5 rocks. Use your abdominals and use your glutes. That's really important, okay? So inhale to lift. Get ready to go. Let's go into some nice stretches. So bring your legs together, push yourself up, go into an all fours position. And let's do cat stretch. Let's keep it moving now. Take an in breath, and then as you exhale, tuck your tailbone slowly under, and then continue flexing right through to the top of your head. Take a big lateral breath in here, and then as you exhale from tailbone to the crown of your head, come back to neutral. Take a lateral breath in, and then exhale again, flex and roll. Feel that lovely deep stretch through the back of your body, and feel like you're mobilising as well. Let's do one more cat. Okay, so tuck your toes underneath and lift your hips into a downward facing dog. Let's do foot pedals now, so alternating by bending one knee, lowering the opposite heel, and then repeat to the other leg, and keep moving it now. And then feel like you're pushing into your hands, you're stretching into your shoulders, you're stretching into your Achilles heels, into your calf muscles, your lower back. Couple more times. And then walk your feet forwards, feet hip distance apart. Soften into the backs of your knees and then roll slowly up to stand. Release the shoulders down. Okay, just a couple more stretches before we finish off. So take a nice wide stance, going into a wide leg fold. With the feet or the toes facing forwards. Soften into the knees and then hinge at the hips. So bringing the chest forwards and down, and then bring your hands to the floor. If you've not got that range and you can't get your hands on the floor, then stack a pillow up here in front of you and put your hands on the pillow. Drop the crown of your head down, and then just slide your hands back if you can a little bit further, so we're lining up with your feet. You're getting stretching the inner part of your thighs and the hamstrings, the backs of your thighs as well, and your lower back. But it's always nice to do an inversion because it does release a lot of neck tension, because you can use gravity here. just to open up that upper part of the spine. I think it's nice. Okay, so we're going to go into a little twist. So lift your chest, bring your right hand forwards about a body length away from you, and then bring your weight forwards over that hand, pushing into the supporting arm now. You're going to take your left arm up to the ceiling, so you're rotating, you're twisting. Try not to twist from your pelvis though, so your pelvis should be fixed here. And we're going to just keep looking downwards at that bottom hand. Keep widening. And then replace the other hand down in its place and repeat that to the side. Big stretch out so you feel it in your shoulders, your chest, your upper spine. Good, release there. Walk your hands back in towards you, bend into your right knee and walk your hands across to your right leg. So you might be just holding onto your calf, or you might be able to hold onto your ankle, pull your nose to your knee. And that's it, so you're bending into the right knee a little bit more now, straighten out your left leg. And then walk your hands across, bend into your left knee, straighten out your right knee, and then wrap your hands around your leg. Pull yourself in. Good stretch there. Come back to the centre, bend both knees, and then roll yourself up to stand. Let's get moving. Turn your feet out a little bit. Okay, I want you to lasso your hands over your head, all the way around, and then push to the side. And then lasso the arms over the head the other way, and push to the other side. Let's get moving a little bit quicker. Over and press. And feel like you're now just throwing your arms away. Rotating quite loose now. Allowing the knees to bend and stretch. Bend and stretch. Let's do one more to each side. And then bring yourself to centre, bring your feet back in. Stand with your feet about hip distance apart. Lovely posture. Engage your core. And take an inhale through your nose. And exhale out through your mouth. So thanks for joining me today. If you've enjoyed this session, just put a like on to the video on YouTube. If you've not already subscribe to the channel. It does make it a lot easier to find the videos. And the other thing you can do is if you tick on the notifications bell, every time I put a new video on YouTube, you'll be alerted straight away when it's ready to be viewed. So it might be an easy way for you to find out when these videos are going to be on there. So thank you and take care.